Hello, everyone, and welcome to Littlefield live streaming. Tonight's show is Memories with Liza Treyger. Now, please welcome your host, Liza Treyger.
Hello. I hope there are people watching, or this is sad and weird. I'm doing some Black Swan realness for my outfit and vibe today. Maybe I'll sit right here. I'm thrilled to be here. Highlights of the day is I ate a hot dog bun with butter earlier, and that was my rose of this week or day. And then my thorn is a couple nights ago, I had to remove like dried dog poop off of dog butt hairs. And that really took a lot out of my spirit. That's already really thin and on its edge. So grab your Arizona iced teas and let's get this show started. So many fun guests, so many chats ahead. My first two guests, I had the pleasure of performing with them in Ireland and Scotland and also Australia, but separately from each, whatever. We're not going to do that. So we're going to talk about Ireland, Scotland. We did the Edinburgh Festival, another festival, and then we also took a day trip to a fishing village, which was pretty incredible. So get excited for Emmy Blotnick and Langston Kerman.
Yay!
What both of you have that I don't have is we would be out and then you would go, hey, I'm going to go home. Or I'm going to go back. Both of you are able to say, I'm out. And you're both able to say, no, I won't smoke weed right now.
I'm genuinely impressed by how little you ever say you're going home.
Yeah, this would be like out till 5. But then I would go to spin class. It was a real wild August.
No, you didn't give up at all. And that was what was most impressive. You truly did not let that place break you in any way.
What was the moment that broke you think?
Week 1. No, I don't think that. I think I don't have as many bad memories of it as I thought I did at the time, but it's a long, arduous month of watching other people do a thing that you wish you were doing better.
Oh, yeah. Well said.
But not the comedy. You mean like
yeah, just, socializing and hanging out and getting attention from an audience that they've sort of already like built relationships with.
Yeah, it really like challenges your jealousy and inner spirits, I feel.
Yes, 100%.
Things I didn't care about, suddenly I cared about. I was like, oh, so her picture's in that coffee shop, but mine isn't. I'm going to have to talk with somebody.
Oh, really? You're going to ding half a star? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, you're like counting stars. I think one of you said it. Emmy, I think you said it, where it's like you're counting stars from these publications you've never heard of.
Yes.
And you're never going to hear about again. And it means the world to you that these places are saying either positive or negative things.
It made me understand reality television, where if you're trapped, you're going to suddenly only care about, The Bachelor or whatever competition show you're on.
Yeah. I'm not tracking my group chat anymore because I'm too worried about whether or not these reviewers are giving me good reviews for my words that I wrote down.
Although, like, I feel like you had hecklers, didn't you, Langston? I felt like you had like real.
Lisa, I think, were you there the time the lady stood up?
Yes, it was a blessed moment because Langston's whole show is pretty filthy, I would say. And then this woman let her child get to the part that's the worst of, probably the most inappropriate, and afterwards gets up and goes, I have a child, I must leave. And we were all like,
no, you're making it much sweeter than what she did. She basically stood up and said, well, I've had enough. And then like walked across the stage. And as you all know, these venues are not built for exiting as much as they are trapping you in a space. She literally walked across my stage and announced that she was finished with whatever I had to say at the crux of the story that I needed to tell so that I could get to the sweeter, softer shit. She just interrupted it to be like, you're inappropriate, young man, and I'm taking this 14-year-old with me.
They were from like a Scandinavian country or something. Was that the vibe?
She was definitely like weird European. Can I say that? Is that okay to say? You know, there's normal European that we're all used to, and then
All
there's
right,
those.
Nick Cannon. Um, now, I ate a lot of crepes. Emmy, what do you want to discuss about Scotland or Ireland?
Oh,
I remember what made us mad. We were leaving Ireland to go to Scotland, and we had all this luggage because we're gone for a month and a half, and we see Jenna Friedman with a little carry-on and a backpack, and she's like, "This is all I need."
And I felt so attacked by it. Like the idea of someone being able to pack in a minimalist way, I was just like, "Fuck you!" And then I realized it was all about me. I mean, if she can do laundry frequently, more power to her.
No, then we got into a taxi cab, and the cab driver roasted me. He goes, "Oh, are you moving here for a month?" Like he was pissed.
But the best Lisa's bag combination it was like two hockey bags, and like it's just not designed for one person. You need like a camel for that much luggage. And we were in the airport in Ireland, and at one point it was so frustrating to maneuver the shit around that Lisa just like dropped them both and to the sky yelled, "I want Louis Vuitton luggage."
It does feel like you would pack like a housewife, but without the materials that a housewife would prepare.
Oh, you mean like a housewife leaving her husband that cheated?
Yeah, no, I just mean like one of the Real Housewives, and you would have all your shit without the equipment that they're already prepared with.
Yeah, I mean, but we needed raincoats and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Outfits, you gotta have, a rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories, Langston, we went to a hurling game, and you and three men were the only Black people in a 90,000 person stadium.
It was great.
It was, but then someone ran up to you guys, or you were standing with me, and they just wanted to talk about the NBA.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, did you know him?" And they're like, "He's just really excited to see us."
Yeah, it was a weird vibe of them being like, "Yes, we're so happy you're here." We were like, "Yeah, you too, man." And then we just had to accept that, like, okay, I guess this is the best we can do.
And then you elbowed a child in the face.
I did elbow a child in the forehead. He was sitting next to me, and you'll remember this. He was sitting next to me and scowling at me the entirety of the game. He was not happy with me for some reason. I don't know if it was racism, but it certainly felt personal. And then at some point, the team that we had decided to root for, we had no investment in any of this, but the team we decided to root for scored a goal. I jumped up and accidentally elbowed the kid in the face, and then he's crying. Everybody's breaking down. I'm terrified because the dad is sitting right there, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm so sorry I accidentally hit him." And the dad's like, "Fuck it, it's fine. We scored. We're good."
Yeah, I don't care. But what was wild, they didn't sell jerseys, hats, snacks, burger. It's like there's no gear to buy except a woman sold rope in the colors of the teams.
Yeah. You don't get to buy any gear. And I can't remember if it was there or in Scotland, they don't even get paid.
Yeah,
they're playing for passion, which would never exist in our country.
I mean, there's intramural teams.
Sure, but these are the best of whoever's doing this. I can be on an intramural team, but I'm garbage. These people are amazing at what they do, and they still are doing it for free. It's sad.
Now that we're in America, what were the worst shows you saw at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival?
Emmy?
Oh, man.
I walked out of a show 6 to 9 minutes in.
Yes, and it was so liberating to realize you could do that. We got massages
instead, and then saw Fern Brady, who's a fun comic.
Yeah, that was a life-changing decision. There were a bunch of bad ones. I don't know. Not everybody's got an hour.
No.
I saw a really bad play about men in the woods that I hated.
I remember one of the most hurtful moments being out there, and this wasn't a show I saw, but just sort of gives people a context of what that experience is I had just done a show with like 8 people in it, like, struggling to get some sort of audience the entire time. Walked out of my show, couldn't find any of you guys because you guys had cool shit going on, and then walked past somebody who was handing out flyers for something called Adult Scooby-Doo. And I and they were getting traction. They had all the people who were gathering around to find out more about adult Scooby-Doo. It's like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. This is wild.
Yeah, no, that is the weird thing with that festival is that you're competing with stuff that like isn't. It's not like all stand-ups. There's like the Black Blues Brothers were like a very popular show, and I'm like, I'm just one pretty boring woman. I can't compete with this.
I'm not black or blues brother. What am I doing?
I got no choreo.
I went to a circus show.
Which one did you see?
The Death Cab for Cuties one, you know, like death something. I don't remember. It was like the woman with the black short hair. You don't remember that poster? Was this 2 years ago already? No, this was just last year.
It was last year. Yeah. Did you enjoy it? Did you walk out satisfied?
Yeah, there was like fire titties, and then there was like a man with a great body doing weird things in a hoop. Yeah.
Hell yeah. You had me at fire titties. I love it.
No, but there was one point where I was talking, I was like, I have to get to this show. And it's this, and you, Langston, you went, I think me and you are trying to do different things.
That had to be later in the month, because in the beginning I'd have been like, hell yeah, I'll go with you. This sounds great. And then after a while, I was just like a hardened like inmate where it's like, fuck that. I'm not.
No, this one it was about, it was dark, dude. It was a performance. Did you go to Briny? I'm a Phoenix bitch.
No.
It's like a play. The effects are cool, but it's a show about a woman in a relationship, has a baby. She's living in a house with a creek, and the water rises ever so often, and you can't leave the house. And then her kids started having all these seizures and became permanently mentally challenged. And her relationship fell apart, and she just went crazy in the woods with her kid. And that was the show.
Fuck.
Hmm.
Wow.
So
doesn't sound funny at all.
Yes.
You know what? I did remember, like, one fond memory, if I may. I really enjoyed Dan Soder used to do impressions of hungry Scottish toilets, because a lot of the toilets there had like really forceful flushes, and he would be like, "Oh, I can't get enough of your big American shits." And I don't have a Scottish accent, but it was a convincing horny toilet.
I will say that collectively, all the us finding ways to smoke weed or get drunk each night was a fun game to be had every time. Of like, where do we find weed in a place that doesn't have it? We somehow managed every time. It was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I almost got kicked out of one of the after party balcony areas. I wasn't allowed to smoke a joint there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't get kicked out for giving your entire street team potent edibles.
Well, before you go, they're like, you have to bribe and be nice to your street team. And like, what else do you want but drugs? But then you show up and they are 19 years old. And so it changes the dynamics.
19 is generous. Some of them are even younger than that. And you are giving drugs to kids, but that's okay.
I gave drugs to the kids, but they were like out in the rain giving out flyers. I mean, is it a pyramid scheme?
It is. And they needed the drugs, I think. What their circumstances are far worse than even what we could complain about. Like, they just stand outside and promote a person they've never heard of for a show that they're never going to see. They're not invested in this art form at all. They're just.
I ran into one of my street team girls and I was like, can you frown anymore? I was like, girl, you're holding just smile a little bit. She was just sad, and I can't blame her. But I could bet they're like fucking each other.
Yeah. It's probably like summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a fishing village. I just thought we would have more to talk about.
Is this not enough? I feel.
Oh no, it's at the 2-minute mark. I was like, I don't know what else to.
I love how Liza got us on and then scolded us for not being more exciting.
These memories suck.
So I just thought you guys would be more interesting.
I'm trying to find photos from that time very quickly before our 2 minutes are up. Liza, you know it, you love it. It's your Tesco Caesar salad kit.
I bought that at the beginning and put it in our fridge, and then Obviously never opened it. And
Of
then while
course
it was
not.
rotting, Emmy sent a text that goes, this bag of lettuce was robbed for newcomer of the year.
It had expired on August 9th.
Nice. We had a whole month to go.
Yeah.
You hated the food. I loved the food. Wait, do you have more
I like
picks?
the food. I'm looking. They're not all worth
Their
it.
food was good as long as you put it in context. Like it's not you need to know what you're eating. It's blood. You're eating hard blood. So you have to be like, this is the best hard blood I could have under any circumstance.
I don't think I ate any hard blood. Is haggis hard blood?
It's intestines, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
I definitely had a haggis ravioli.
yeah.
And just
you also had gooseberry fool. Wait, this doesn't want to focus. There we go.
There you go.
Yes, this is it's a nice insult.
You laughed hard when we saw that. We laughed.
Yeah.
That fishing village was fun.
Yeah,
it was so fun. I just remember Guinness, oysters, clam chowder. Like, I just remember us living like kings.
Yeah. We walked around looking for the best restaurant we could find, and then we had it. And we had a weird waiter, I think.
He was just over enthusiastic. Also, Emmy, we stayed at one of the hippest hotels I've ever been at. Probably one of my top hotels of life.
Yeah. That was a very fun hotel. Yes.
You guys had a great hotel.
All right, guys, this was great. Do you want to tell people what you're up to, what you want to leave the people with, or just me?
I don't want to leave them with anything. You're so disappointed in us. I just want to get out of the way and let you have the rest of your show.
That's not true. I'm so thrilled.
It's only up from here.
Well, no, most of my friends, I'm like, hey, can you like holler with a memory? And all our memories are just eating at a restaurant. Like, I have no memories with most of my friends. I was like, whoa, Frex, what have we done together? She's like, just eat pita at your house. Like, nothing has happened.
We smoked a lot of weed and complained, but that's not good storytelling.
We were just like sweaty and walking for miles and seeing plays and
wearing the clothes we wore from yesterday and hoping no one noticed. It's,
Oh my God, I forgot the best part. Emmy, remember it was towards the end of the run and the girl who had the trailer before your show screamed at us?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't remember
why did she yell at you?
I think we went by to give our tech guy a goodbye gift, and the girl who was there threw this like really like beautiful tantrum at us.
It was a tantrum, but it was fun to watch. It really moved you.
I haven't felt an emotion that strong in my life.
She was just like, I'm sick of these crowds. I can't wait to get out of here.
Oh, it wasn't even about you all. It was just the very concept of Edinburgh.
Well, then Emmy stood her ground and was just like, actually, I'm not taking on your emotions and I feel happy today. And
Hell
so
yeah.
she got even more mad.
Good for her.
Yeah, it was
good
beautiful.
for you, Emmy.
You guys are lovely. I'm sorry if my attitude was bad, but I do feel like, my spirit is in a good place.
Your attitude was lovely.
And without you guys, what would I even had to talk about in Edinburgh? Wandering the streets alone, going to plays at 3 p.m. That was it.
I was going to say more of those plays that you saw with weird British kids.
Friends the musical.
You guys are the shit. I wish you some happiness this week and some good times, good food.
We'll try. Nice to see your face. Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Have fun. All right. That was great. I did attack my guests, and I'm pretty ashamed. I'm going to move it right along. This guy, Mike Recine, this memory to me is so wild and insane, but to him, it could be more traumatic and deeply personal. I'm not really sure, but it's one of the most Mr. Bean type moments I've had in my life. So get excited for Mike Recine, everybody. Mike Recine. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Liza?
How would you describe the emotions before we get into the story?
I think the story was just kind of business as usual. We showed up, we were pros, we did our job. It's like some jobs you do, for because you love them, and then some jobs are for the money. And I thought that we both did I thought we both did an honest day's work that night.
Absolutely.
I think we got paid to do what we were supposed to do. I think everybody there.
Are you doing a Rubik's Cube right now?
Might not have been great for us, but whatever. We did.
Are you typing?
What's that?
What are you doing?
No, I'm clicking a pen. It's like a nervous.
Don't click the pen.
All right, sorry.
All right. Okay. So, Mike Recine, I'm coming back from Scotland, and you're like, hey, the bank my dad works for is having a 75th anniversary party on this giant boat, hundreds of people. Do you want to do a set for a good amount of money? And I said, fuck yeah, dude, let's do that.
Also, I guess I mean, it's fine that you say my dad works for a bank. My dad does work for a bank. I have cultivated a very blue collar personality over the years, but my dad does work for a bank.
Oh my God, are you mad that people now know you're a rich kid?
I'm not really a rich kid. I would say we're like upper middle class.
Wow.
But I've been but people are always surprised when they meet my dad. He's a very nice guy.
Oh yeah. I was expecting like an outward racist for sure.
Right. No, he's like a quiet one.
Yeah. So, but because it's on the boat and it's on this harbor, you're like, you don't want to sit in traffic. So we got there super early. We played at an arcade for like an hour. We got to this marina.
Did you say what the gig was? It was a party for my dad's. It was my dad's like company party. And we got booked to do stand up, and the party was on a boat.
Yeah, so we're at the dock, we're killing time before the boat, and we're looking, and when did you start realizing the boat wasn't near or we might not be at the right place?
Well, it was weird because we got there like really early. We got there like an hour and a half early.
Oh, even earlier.
I know. And I said, let me pick you up at 3:00 because you never know how traffic is going to be. So like, let's leave at 3:00 before the rush hour, because rush hour traffic in New York starts around 4. So I'm like, let's leave at 3. We'll kill some time. We'll go to we'll get to the harbor. We're at the harbor. We had a couple drinks. We're like, yeah, I don't know where the boat is, but it's got to be somewhere around here because we're near the harbor. And I don't know, just we never found the boat. I mean, we found it eventually.
Well, no, and then we get a text from the woman from the company going, hey, we're here. Where are you? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And then when you ask her to confirm the address of the dock, she gives a different address than your dad gave us for the dock that we're at. So we now run to the car. Also, you know what day this was? This was the day Shane Gillis news broke. So we got to talk about Shane Gillis for 12 hours.
Yeah, we had a very heated argument about my friend Shane Gillis who did nothing, who was unrightfully fired from. No, just kidding. No, but we did get to talk about it, and
we talked about Shane Gillis the whole time. So, but we're in a panic now. So we're running towards the car, and you're lying. You're like, oh yeah, we'll be there in 10. So this pier is 15 minutes away. We're driving, and we can't find parking. So then we drive into a condo parking lot, park in there, run out of the condo, and then we see the boat.
Because it was this whole thing. I was like, "Where's the boat?" And then she was like, "It's near the 9/11 memorial." So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're not. I guess this is in the harbor. So I somehow found this other address in my GPS, which was like in the town of Hoboken. So we go to like a parking garage. We go to this is like my favorite part of the story, because we go to the parking garage. We get out of the parking garage, and in the distance we see a boat, and I can just make out on the boat that it says the Cornucopia Majesty, which was the name of the boat. And I'm like, because I can see, I don't do a lot of things well, but I have very good vision, like long distance vision, and I could just make out that it said the Cornucopia Majesty. So I'm like, we were sitting where we were supposed to be. So then we got in an Uber.
We don't realize that yet. We just see the boat in the distance, and we get an Uber, and the Uber takes us to the original dock
location. Yeah.
And the boat was there the whole time.
But that was such a weird thing, because we were waiting at a harbor. There was just no boat. and the boat that we were supposed to get to was maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes away. Good
It
thing the
was
show
bad.
was.
I just feel like for you, so then they're holding the boat. This is your dad's company. They're holding the boat for us. So now instead of being hours early, they're holding the boat for us and they can't leave.
Yeah.
So we get on the boat and we start riding around. The food is amazing.
Yeah.
I had salmon.
Yeah.
Pasta. There was a band.
Mm-hmm.
You performed.
It was just a weird thing because it was like it wasn't like a fun party at all because no family was allowed.
It was like the Titanic where it was like layer, and people everywhere that were dancing and getting drunk. But then also, then they would stop the music and go, we're going to stop the music for comedy. And then they all booed.
Yeah. Well, they didn't boo. They just talked. Yeah, they talked.
They didn't want comedy.
No.
And they'll have to be at work tomorrow. Having a regular life sometimes seems so sad that you'd have to party and then drive back to your home and go to work the next day.
Right. And then worry that you're going to be called into the HR office for how you behaved at the party.
I got a little riot going during my set.
You did?
Yeah, I was like, give them the day off. Who do you want to fuck? Like I was Yeah. Very good. But I just felt, was that stressful for you to watch, for your dad to be there through this or no?
No, I don't think so. I think it was fine. It was just, look, I'm glad we did make it on the boat with like a minute to spare. So that was good. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. My parents have been pretty supportive through my career, and they know what it's like. They know what it is. They don't have any notions about, that they don't have any. They know that it's comedy's messy sometimes, and they're just like. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was.
I didn't expect.
I certainly didn't.
And I felt like if you wanted to, you could have snapped my neck.
Why?
I would be stressed. Like I was sitting there being like, thank God this isn't me having to care or go through this.
Oh, no, I don't really care.
Okay.
Because I knew it was going to be like out of our control. Yeah, nobody listened during our set. We were both on stage for like 15 minutes or so, just talking to nobody. But whatever, we got paid. I mean, some people have to, work like 5 days for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Not that it was that much money. Not that it was like a crazy amount of money, but
it was. I don't think this is the crazy part. I think us driving from dock to dock and then having to take an Uber because that was the crazy part for me. Listen,
that was crazy, but neither one of us saw the boat. We didn't see the boat until we were on the other side of Hoboken.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was a dream. Thank you for thinking of me for that gig. I was thrilled to meet your father.
Oh, of course.
Great banquet hall food. And the band was hot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to go.
Yeah, they were good.
Do you have any wishes for everyone?
For everyone?
Yeah.
I guess I just hope that
Megan wants to know if your dad is hot. I don't remember that.
Megan Gailey. It's funny because my dad kind of was. I think I have a picture of him in here. Actually, this is
perfect. This is deja vu. This dad hot thing. I've lived this before.
This is him and my sister when he was younger. So he's pretty. He's pretty dark. He's Italian. He's
This is so deja vu right now that I feel fucking nuts.
What?
This happened to me before.
Oh, yeah?
With Megan needing to know about your dad being hot and you showing a photo. I feel like I've lived this memory before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to go. We're going to move on. Thank you so much for joining me to cash this. I have way more attachments to these than you.
To what?
To this memory.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
a story I tell kind of often.
Really?
Yeah, I've told it maybe 8 times.
I mean, I don't know. To me, it was just it's like a gig is a gig. You show up, you do your time, you know, and you get
I'm not talking about the gig being crazy. I'm talking about showing up to a gig hours beforehand and then being late and having a rigmarole.
Yeah. And that's what was weird about it, because I always like I'm usually pretty good with logistical stuff, you know, with getting there on time.
I don't believe you.
No, I am. But it was a boat, so it's like you never know. Boats are tricky. That's my advice for younger.
Boats are tricky. Oh my God, did your internet?
Boats are tricky.
Boats are tricky, baby. Thank you, Mike Recine. Yeah. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, I can tell. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, bye. That was Mike Recine, everybody. I'm going to bring on our next two guests. Lots of memories with each of them. We're going to focus in on a Ravinia concert memory and a New York Hurricane Sandy bonanza. So get super excited for multi-talented Matteo Lane and Megan Gailey.
I'm really nervous based off all these other people that these stories just won't add up to anything.
No. Listen, Matteo, worst comes to worst, you can sing, you know?
Also,
that is true. Oh, there we are.
Is I put on blue eyeshadow, but truly nothing else. And I'm just like, do I look nuts?
I actually wanted to get into this look. Okay, so the hair, can I ask what this blouse is?
It's this dress. You know the dress.
Oh, okay. I was seeing it only as a blouse, and it was like really, like you looked like you were like interviewing to be like Aaron Brockovich's assistant. Just like a blue shadow and a loud blouse.
Not my best look, but
no, I think you look good.
Also, when, I should have taken that green dress I refused to take with me, which is wild. All right, you guys.
I washed the green dress and I hung it up on the hangers that are reserved for like when your child dies, like their baptismal dress. Like it is hanging in such a special place in such a special way for what could be an Old Navy sale rack item.
It was ASOS. I don't shop at Old Navy anymore.
Speaking, okay, you want to make fun of me? So this terrible hat just came in the mail.
Are you going to go excavate some dinosaur bones?
Yeah, so I am going to a national park to meet my parents, and I have made my look, I want it to be lesbian chic. And I think this hat is getting me there.
It's definitely wild. Like my mom tried to give me a hat like that this week, and I yelled at her.
It's got a flap that comes with it too.
Why'd you yell at her?
No, I didn't yell at her. I was just like, I definitely don't want those hats. But I guess someone's in the market for them.
Really, really, really hot football players wear these hats.
Yeah, but you like bucket hats. I don't like either. I am not a hat gal, actually.
Yeah, like a hat.
I don't like fashion hats. I don't like fedoras. I don't like fit. I don't like it.
I don't like a fashion hat, but
I just thought about.
I like just a cap. Like a sports hat. What are they called? Yeah, baseball. Thank you. A baseball hat. Yeah, I like those.
I like a cap with a brim. Yeah, I like baseball caps. I'm just not a hat gal. Was Ravinia when we went to see Idina Menzel the first time we all hung out together?
Yes, no. You guys. Yes, it was, because I was new to comedy and you guys were like, "Oh, we're going to go see Idina Menzel and we want you to come with us." I was like, "Okay." And then on the bus from the train station, you guys were trying to start some trend on Twitter or like some hashtag on Twitter.
Hashtag yellow cars.
I don't remember, but we were just like, we're going to start this hashtag, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And then we went to Ravinia, and then Idina Menzel's fine. I think she's like a specific taste. I think she's really talented, but she wasn't prepared for this concert, and I wasn't prepared for her not being prepared.
Well, so she sang one note. She came out and was like, and you go, something's not right.
Yeah, I remember me and Matteo grabbing each other, and we heard something was off. But before we even get to her shoeless entrance, I want to say What else? This was one of my first moments where I felt like an adult, where like we had cheese and brie and like that's the same thing. But we had, I felt
I
like
want to say it was Jewel Osco cheese. It wasn't like we went to some fancy place. We got
but we
cut
thought
Jewel
ahead.
Osco
It was
Jack and
younger.
cheddar cheese.
and it felt to me like, oh, I'm an adult, you know?
We had a spread that was like, if you looked around at the other spreads around us, it was like, oh, we didn't fully fuck it up. You know, like I just can't believe that our first time hanging out, you agreed to go to a concert.
Well, someone says Idina Menzel, and I was like, sure, cool, I'll go see Idina Menzel. And I'm always a little. Idina's a performer where you're not sure what you're gonna get. She's got a lot of nerves. So you know when she look at Sabrina talking about someone who is ready to go on an excavation, looking at a dinosaur bone as we speak.
See? Didn't I say that my hat was lesbian chic? Was I wrong?
Sabrina, you've got to hide.
Is this the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Sabrina.
Well, Adina is actually like a good person to see at Ravinia because Ravinia is outdoor, and the outdoor concert venue, you can see someone who's not a good performer because there's like birds and trees and other things to occupy.
Distract you.
Well, there was also Marvin Hamlish. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The conductor, and we made fun of him, and then he died, I think, the next day or like 2 weeks later.
I think after that concert.
Too.
He was.
I just want to say that Idina, for those who are probably not following along whatsoever to this story, that Idina Menzel had a cold and she started singing.
Even worse, she like had no voice.
And she was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is like, that's a hard enough song to sing anyway. So instead of like somewhere, she was somewhere. And I was like,
she also would bring up people from the audience to sing.
During Rent.
And not even vetting these people. Like it wasn't like an audience plan. Like it was just little kids.
Right.
And she was flitting around shoeless.
And then I remember at one point she was singing a song from Annie, which is wildly inappropriate, embarrassing for an adult woman to sing, but she was doing it. I think it was Maybe. She's like, maybe far away. Or maybe it was Tomorrow. But there was a girl, because we started to sneak up after we were told multiple times to shut up. And we snuck up, and this girl, she was probably like 16, was bawling. I mean, uncontrollable. But somehow this song from Annie just got her in tears. She couldn't handle it. And it sounded like beef jerky.
Yeah. There was that man, speaking of getting shushed, there was a man, I've never actually seen this. Even I've been to like golf tournaments and haven't seen this. A man with a giant sign that said like, please be quiet. And it got to the point where he was just like circling around where we were sitting. Like he was just like glaring at us.
But I mean, we were the most entertaining part of the show. It really was. I like Idina. I think she's a good performer. It was a bad concert. It was a bad performance. She had kids singing. Like, I didn't pay to listen to kids sing the same verse from Rent 20 times in a row. Like, and then I remember clapping for that 13-year-old girl. I'm like, you're not Idina. So what are we doing?
And this might be controversial, but put some shoes on. I don't understand a barefoot sing unless you're playing like Mowgli. You know, like then it makes sense, but I don't understand why you're barefoot.
I think you could be barefoot if your voice was at top notch, but to have laryngitis and then not even give us a look is like, and we're talking pre-Frozen, like pre her biggest hit.
Oh yeah,
this was willing to go.
This is before If Then. Was that her musical? If Then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this was before John Travolta.
Adele Dazeem.
Yeah, Adele Dazeem.
And ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
It doesn't get old.
Like, you know how concerts have like intros? I hope that they play that before she takes the stage everywhere she goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adele Dazeem.
But I bet inside she was like, this motherfucker. Like, I don't think she's got a sense of humor.
I will say something happened over the past 2 years. She must be working on her voice because she's hitting high notes a lot more with a lot more ease. Because at the Oscars and at the New Year, everything is going wrong. Any New Year's Eve performance will just not go right. Mariah, Idina, Christina, it all just goes to hell. But she cannot hit that high E. Let the storm rage on. She just can't. She can't hit it every time. Like lower the key.
No,
of the
she's
song.
failed at every public chance she's ever gotten.
Right, and I mean she's nervous. She's nervous to sing. Remember she sang the national anthem?
She was a coach on American Idol, a season that I was really into. And I remember just like watching and being like, don't listen to her. Like do the opposite. If she says go left, you go right. Okay.
Well, so then I want to say, so then Matteo, you know, we had a friendship. Matteo was one of the first group of Chicago comics to go to New York.
I think I'm in our generation, I was the first to go.
Yeah,
And
probably
then-
for Julia and Lane even maybe.
Oh, I was a year, Julia, because Lane and I just had dinner the other night, and I was like, when did you and Julia come? He's like a year after you moved.
And
to New
before
York.
the Joyces too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Matteo was first, and then Megan and I, we got accepted to the She Devil Comedy Festival.
An all women's comedy festival in Long Island City.
Yeah, and our next guest, that's where we met her as well. But so Megan and I got to stay with Matteo in Manhattan. We left the car in this. I mean, I just remember us driving into Manhattan at 5:30 p.m. and like I cannot believe we handled arriving at rush hour into New York. It's like truly fucked up. But so the festival, we're staying with Matteo. There's lots of memories. And then we actually had to escape Mateo's because it was Hurricane Sandy.
Can we talk about my apartment at the time?
Oh, of course. And my favorite thing is, so you lived on the what, 5th or 6th floor walk up?
Sixth floor walk up, and I
And
had a bathtub in my kitchen.
But you grabbed mine and Megan's suitcases over your shoulders and you ran upstairs while Megan and I, carrying nothing, had to take multiple breaks. You weren't even this buff then. Like, it was fucked up.
That's so funny. I remember seeing you guys get ready for the She Devil. I came and met you up, and you stood outside, and Lisa, you put your hair up in a bun, and Megan, you were putting out something, and Megan goes, okay, here's the plan. We win first and second. Got it. And that was it. And I was like, God, these girls are so confident. And you guys did win first and second that night.
That night. And then we got real big in our britches.
Well,
And
no,
like-
people that were like nice and complimenting us day one wouldn't even look us in the face day two. Like, they wouldn't even look at us.
I remember like getting first place. Like I got first, I think, in mine, and you got second in yours. And I was like, we're gonna win this whole thing. We're gonna get a horse. I kept saying we were gonna buy a horse from the
She Devil competition in Long Island City.
That's like how good I felt. Like I was like, if we're stars at She Devil, we're stars everywhere.
And then we got, we didn't advance, then we got wasted on Rumplemints and heckled people.
Yeah, it was.
We had enemies.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so
right.
we
I
woke up
remember
on
that.
we woke up on Sunday in Mateo's apartment that I like.
But we also, is this the night or maybe it was a different night, but he said he was awoken to us unwrapping snacks and giggling.
Oh,
And
it was
had
also
no
Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I went to a Halloween party and sent you pictures of that Halloween costume with the blue with the arms and everything.
And then you were, so we had to sleep. We were on
A loft.
a loft in the middle room. It was so New York, but yeah, we ate a lot of desserts. But my favorite thing, so Hurricane Sandy was rolling in, and we decided like Megan and I had to leave. But then I
we thought
remember
we were gonna stay for a little bit. We were like, it sounds fun.
well, because we've had fun blizzards before.
Yeah, exactly.
But then people always like that. I was like, but then we had one final brunch before we left, and they're like, you guys went to fucking brunch before you drove off,
And then we had to go get hurricane supplies, and I remember we bought like a sleeve of Baby Ruths and Powerade Zero, and then we were like, we're good to go. Load it up.
that is exactly.
Then I got hit with the hurricane, lost power for a week, had to go stay in Washington Heights with my friend from high school that I hadn't spoken to in like 8 years, slept on his couch. I mean, it was wild. And I just like, I can't.
That. If we were with you, you would have been miserable.
We would have had nowhere to go. I would have been like, we have to go. Or we would have just drove back home to Chicago. And then if you were in Manhattan, you couldn't leave Manhattan.
Yeah, because they were closing the bridges. That's what's crazy about us going to get brunch in the Baby Ruths. There was like at noon, they were like, the bridges and tunnels are closing.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, that gives us plenty of time.
I like how you guys were on time for that. Like Liza was on time for brunch before a hurricane.
Yeah. We have a lot of memories. I was actually just telling someone recently that I missed a flight when we were going to go to New Orleans to speak to a college about not letting failure define us, like working past failure, but no one knew who we were. And in the intro, they weren't like these successful comedians. So we were just these old people shoveled out to these college students, and it was an a cappella singing competition. So they just wanted to hear their friends sing. And then we had to go out and be like, we were bullied, failure sucks, but look at us now. And they're like, we don't know who you are. And it was bad.
You seem like you're still failing.
It was bad. But Matteo was scared to call me that I was going to miss the flight because we fought so much on the road together, and I would yell at him constantly. He'd be like, wow, you made it on time. And I'd be like, how dare you fucking disrespect me? So he was like, I'm going to leave her alone.
Yeah.
And I didn't make the flight.
I forgot about that. I was sitting on the flight Delta, and they're like, group 3. I'm not calling her. We got into a fight in front of Amy Sedaris at Sirius XM once.
Yeah.
Lisa, I forgot about that. That was so humiliating. They were like, we came out too prepared. We were like, we made it. And we were like some infomercial. We were like a Shark Tank, like, hey, sharks. Like, that's how we came out there.
Yeah, and these kids were like, it was just horrible.
They hated it. And we got, like, the staff hated us, and then everyone got mad at us, and then we,
they complained to our agents what a terrible job we did. But, we learned a lot. We had not blintzes. What are those New Orleans cookies called? Beignets.
We had beignets.
Oh, yeah, beignets are good.
We literally failed in front of an audience talking about failure. And
yeah. And look at us now.
Wait, do we have 2 seconds to tell Megan the banana story?
Well, let's bring Sabrina in and we'll tell her too then. Sabrina,
Okay.
Come on in.
Come on in, Sabrina.
I'm coming. I'm on my way.
Hello.
Hello.
Do we have any memories, the four of us, we think, or no?
I mean,
Wow.
I love you guys getting in a fight in front of Emmy.
We did.
I
Because
think
Lisa
it's
walked in
wonderful.
late and I didn't say anything. And then Lisa's like was screaming at me, and then I was screaming back at her, and they're like, you guys are ready now?
Yeah, no, I've learned a lot.
We were just
on the radio.
It's like the memory
mean-
between Lisa, Sabrina, and I also started with a fight between Lisa and I being late to the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Wait, did you
goodness.
guys talk about the U.S.
Well,
Open?
no, not yet.
I remember
Oh.
we were leaving. We were leaving like 15 minutes after we were supposed to, because we were meeting my ex and Sabrina there. And so we were leaving 15
I was
minutes
fucking
late.
your ex.
And I'm like, Lisa, we're late. And you were like, yeah, but only 15 minutes. That's like on time.
And you were like, I want to leave. And I'm like, you leave. And you're like, these are my tickets.
And I don't think they were actually.
Every
They're actually
great day-long
my ex's
event
mom
starts
ticket.
with one person saying, "These are my tickets."
Are those your glasses for real, or are those costumes?
No, but I've started to wear them on Zoom sometimes. I mean, there's very little that you can. I thought Matteo was a picture until he moved. He's just so beautiful.
Wow.
I truly, yeah. What do you think? This or this?
they're very Jiminy Glick. I like them.
Yeah, I was going to say Harry Carey.
Oh, for me, they remind me of Catherine Hahn when she's pretending to be the therapist and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought of too.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah,
way. That's like the character that I'm playing.
So the She Devil Festival where we were staying with Matteo was where we met you, because when Megan and I were thrown out of the competition disrespectfully.
Well, just eliminated. We were just eliminated.
We decided you were our favorite. So we just started cheering for you.
And let me tell you, there was not a worse time to start cheering for me, because what was happening to me psychologically was that I had top heavied all of my present day material.
Oh,
and the dueling sort of balance as a comic of like, do you go old, tried and true, or do you be present? And I literally like threw presents away and was like, so my dad picked me up from high school, and that was a bit of a dilemma.
I just remember there was a girl with like a side pony, and we were yelling
you
like,
hated her though.
boo, side pony, fuck you, side pony.
You didn't start hating her then. You like hated her from Facebook or something. Like you had an experience with her in Atlanta or a different festival where we came in there with her as an enemy.
Yeah,
I mean, signed up just for the follow-up beat with side pony.
I just want to say, most people go to festivals like, this should be fun. I might meet some new comics. And like Liza and Megan are like putting on like armor, like going into
we went there to have fun until we got eliminated, and then we were there to destroy everyone else's fun.
Yeah.
Like normal competitive people. No, I do remember this. I think I knew her from Indiana. And when someone is also from Indiana and doesn't want to bond with me, then I'm like, fuck you. I will heckle you during your She Devil set. Yeah, that was it.
That was her ponytail, and she was doing better than us in the competition. And then Sabrina, you came up to Megan and I, and you went
the nastiest.
But now I side pony. But then you said, come over, watch my wedding video, and I'll roll a joint.
And Sabrina, that's where I first heard about you, because I was like sort of asleep, and then I just hear like two little like mice coming into my apartment eating candy, and then they were like, oh, we met this lesbian, and oh, just these videos, and oh, they're just like so in love, and oh, I mean, it just was like over and over. It was like 40 minutes. I'm like, we get it, the lesbian's in love. I mean, Liza was obsessed.
Well, you brought it
like,
back.
Are you guys not around lesbians or what? Like, I'm a little bit shocked that.
I think it's because you showed us your wedding video.
Yeah, because you invited
That's
us
not a
back.
lesbian video. That was a video about love.
We just, your vibe really, we were impressed by it. I remember being in your New York place and you were showing us your video. We were getting high. We were clearly drunk. We were yelling at people earlier in the night. And then Shauna, your wife, came in to two strangers watching her wedding video. And it always reminded me of like when Gary Marshall is dancing with Sarah Jessica Parker in Hocus Pocus, and Penny Marshall comes down and is like, get out of here, you witches. And that Shauna was like, who the fuck are these women that are like weeping about my wedding?
Well, you guys are significantly younger than me, if not just a tad younger, but significantly younger than my ancient wife. My wife is older than me, and then you guys are younger, so it's like like 3 generations behind her is in her fucking living room microwaving kebabs or whatever. Like when I do remember, like when you guys came into my life, specifically Liza, and onto my couch and into my world, it was like, it reminded me of like college. It was like this like new friendship of like sleepovers and just getting stoned, and like Shauna probably, was like, okay, I thought we were moving in a different direction, but I guess this pirate is the captain now, and she is eating gummy.
Lisa is a pirate. Lisa's a friend pirate. You're on a ship, you're going somewhere.
Yeah, but with Sabrina, she opened the door fully nude the 3rd time I hung out with her.
Me?
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah, you were like bathing in the bathtub with the door open, being like, let's chit chat, which was a new door for me.
Which is what for you?
A new door for me.
I like to be in the bathtub when people arrive. I think it's like a nice, chill, honest place to start the hang.
It's a power move.
I think so. I don't mind saying it. I mean, I'm wearing these glasses for what? For power hunting.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk about our thing.
Yes, all right,
Megan,
I'll escape.
Anything you guys want to add to the masses?
I just want to bring up that when we went to the US Open, Sabrina brought hollowed out tampons for us to sneak vodka into the Arthur Ashe Tennis Center.
That makes it sound like I like sucked the center out of tampons.
That's what we thought was happening when
we thought we were gonna have to put them in our butt.
Vodka tampons, we were like, oh, I guess she's sucking vodka out of these tampons. But now we know they're test tubes in tampon wrappers.
Oh.
Hi.
Well, talk about a hat.
Look at everybody. Hi.
What's up?
I got a little necklace on too.
Yeah.
I like yours.
They're talking about the vodka tampons. I think Shauna ordered them first. Or
They
did I?
were amazing.
Who knows?
Mateo, final thought, final statement.
We have used them many
Mateo.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second. No, this was fun. It was nice to see everybody.
You too, dear. But we're hanging out, but it sucks. You look great. You look great. Enjoy your days, guys.
Bye, everyone.
stay on the line.
Leaving?
It's just me and Sabrina, I think, now.
Oh, wow. Okay, bye.
Bye, bitch.
You can also find me on Liza's Patreon.
Yeah. I interviewed her for Patreon. She's a member too.
Not just a subscriber, also a guest.
Yes. Love you guys.
Bye,
All
Mateo.
right.
Bye.
So, Sabrina, we became fast friends, and then we got an opportunity to do a web series for Comedy Central. We couldn't believe it, and then it was the biggest disaster, but so many learned lessons. We learned lessons that people would learn on like movie sets after decades of work, and we learned them and that's Ty Dolla $ign.
That's Ty Dolla $ign between us. I know what you're thinking. How did you get there, and what lessons did you learn on the way? First of all, I want to just say the project here that we were supposed to be shooting was How Many Questions? Everybody watching is familiar with this series. It was kind of like the birth of our friendship, and we would ask as many questions as we could of a guest. And it was like a game we invented, and the magic of that game.
Our magic was you asked more questions, but I asked better questions.
And dynamic.
It was a runaway hit.
It was a runaway hit, and it felt like when you're like, again, this nostalgia of like the first time you play hide and seek in like a way where you're sweating and you're like, oh, it felt like
yeah, we were shooting in like abandoned malls. We were like, we loved making.
Stumbled upon the idea in Montreal. We saw a man fisting his butthole the night that it was conceived, so we knew it was good.
Yes.
Do you want to get into the fisting butthole or no?
Oh, it's one of my favorite stories. I was actually what is comedy anymore? But yeah, we saw the same man fingering his own butthole twice in one night. And one time he was on all fours, finger in the butt. And then while we were eating, he came into this poutine place, legs and started fingering his butt over legs overhead. But no one wanted to touch him to remove him. So we just had to all wait until he was done fingering his butt.
It's actually crazy and recollect how limber he was.
Yeah, he also looked like he was straight out of the French Revolution. Like he looked ancient, like an ancient serf from the 1700s. Like,
I mean, maybe he was timeless and he was there from the future where this Ty Dolla $ign shoot happened. And he's like, girls, focus on what you love.
So what most TV and like what happens a lot is you have a great idea and then people ruin it and change it until it's not a good idea anymore. And so we have this idea, and then what did this turn into? Down to Find Out, DTF. So that was
it evolved into more of sort of like us learning about the world, which is so different from the original thing. But it was like, all right, whatever. Daddy likes us. Daddy wants to turn the cameras on and point them at us. Cool, Daddy. Down to find out. And you know what? This is actually, I think, a really pivotal lesson moment. That was the biggest. That was like when someone else pitches the title for your thing and it kind of changes the soul of your thing, you got to take a second and put your fist in your asshole and feel around and ask, is this okay?
Yeah, we were so desperate to have an internet talk show that we said yes to every note that they had. So anything that they're like, change that, do this. We're like, yes, sir. Aye, Captain. We'll do anything to get this off and running, instead of being like, no, that's not what this is. Like, listen to us or don't.
Something's happened where Shauna's come into the room
Is she mad?
No, she's just gonna be there. So I guess I'll just like open to her so she can be there too. Shauna styled us for it. We were so excited. And then the night before, what happens, Lisa?
So basically, the show became Down to Find Out, where we would learn about certain things. And what we were trying to learn, we got Ty Dolla $ign attached, and we were going to learn how to be cool from him. We should have remembered we are cool. We don't need help from anyone. We could have learned other lessons.
You think you're cool.
Yeah, so our thing was like, we're going to hang out with this rapper and learn how to be cool. And it was going to be a giant part. I also forget that movies and TV is like fake. Because one time Matteo and I were shooting in a prison in Philadelphia. And I was like, we're going to sleep in the prison. And they're like, no, we got you a hotel room. Like shooting a thing at the prison. But I really thought we were going to sleep in that. So with you, it was like, we're going to have a party at this hotel. The rapper's going to come. He's going to teach us to be cool. It's going to be amazing. So I was like, yeah, Rage on. And then the night before, they're like, oh, no alcohol allowed. And then all my friends and all our friends that were like, come to this party with Ty Dolla $ign, they were just extras. And our DA, is that what they're called?
District Attorney.
No, AD. Oh, wow. Assistant director was yelling at all of our friends, and we were sneaking little bottles of alcohol to them because we're like, we need to keep our friends drunk that are like coming to this shoot, getting yelled at by this man. It was just like.
So, but also just, again, the soul of the project, first of all, was really like boozy and fun. It was about like having fun and just like lose your inhibitions and say what, that was the device of like asking questions. It was like, if you're asking in a rush, people might say something that they wouldn't say if they were calculating and took their time. So then the night before, when we find out that there's no booze, because the soul of what we tried to take is like, okay, well, maybe we can then insert the idea of like lose your inhibitions and just like chat style.
Oh, I also remember. Okay, so then we wanted to make him a basket of goodies, like a present for hanging out with us. And when we got to set, now knowing what I know, I would say, this isn't what we wanted. You better make another basket, but maybe ask nicely. Instead, it was a prop basket. It was like dollar store pregnancy tests and little condoms.
Oh, condoms.
And like bad bongs. And it was like, why are we giving this to this millionaire rapper? And because he had commercials with Ciroc vodka, we got him Ciroc vodka. And he was like, what the fuck is this? I don't want this.
He also arrived on this kind of, what's that thing called? Segway. Hoverboard. Yeah, he arrived on a hoverboard. And I, before even shooting, I think the first thing tried it and fell down quite dramatically in a way that hurt.
And they wouldn't let us smoke weed with him. We had to go on a balcony alone. And then during the party scene, they had a fake DJ in a vest playing random music. And Ty was like, why aren't you playing my music? What the fuck is this? You have a fake DJ in a vest?
When the DJ could not have been like, if I was casting the DJ in reality, it would be person.
He was dressed like Aladdin.
What?
Like he had an Aladdin outfit on, I felt like.
He had a really bad vest. It was just not it was just like but the whole thing fell apart. And it's because we didn't listen to the little voices inside of us. And we weren't confident enough to say something.
And it was just like, we weren't good. It wasn't good. And then they sent us the edit. And this is insider scoop. And it was so bad that I think I turned to you and I was like, oh, we should quit comedy. We're terrible at everything. We have no career and no future. We cannot work together. I remember it being so bad. And then I found out someone stole the original director's cut, made the directors not show it to us, and made her own. And then that's the version we got as the director's cut. Did you not know that?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Because I knew the directors. So I called and I was like, dude, this edit sucks. We suck. We're not funny. Like, what's going on? And he goes, oh, well, we had a different one. They told us not to show it to you. And so we made this other one that sucked. And so they needed voiceover from us. And I just never sent it because I was like, you're never putting this out. This is like terrible.
We should do a serial podcast about this.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the original. I remember emailing with our director and him being like, and the other one was so good where I was like, oh yeah, no, we are funny. This just bitch decided to take the footage and do what she wanted with it.
It's interesting that you can like know a lesson, like in terms of stand up, you wouldn't fall for like a scam that would set you up for not being successful because you've walked into plenty of rooms, you know what to say and do. And so you feel a sense of confidence there. But then when you do something completely new, especially, I guess it gives you this imposter syndrome or something where it's like what I am my instincts I shouldn't trust because I haven't been here before. And I guess the lesson is just that we should trust our fucking instincts.
Yeah, and also like I remember like paint from your ceiling was ripped off, like people just like trashed your house. It was just like the craziest whirlwind of a day that felt so special, and then also like, oh, this was wild. But then at the end of the day we got in bed with him and that was cool.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how are you feeling in this picture? Like, what do you think?
Oh, I think it's cool. I'm like glad to have it. I'm glad it's not posed. Like we're all just listening for directions or like in the middle of work. And so I love that it's like not posed.
Can you recognize in yourself, is this a pure smile or is there some worries in there?
I don't think I'm even smiling.
I feel like I sense in you a little bit of like, this day hasn't gone exactly the way it should have. Like, I think in me, I'm trying to see if I can
see it zoomed up.
Yeah, you're like, okay, so I guess we shot it all.
I just didn't come out of my shell really well. I didn't feel confident. And then it was just like, everything was not how I envisioned. It was just wild.
What?
It was just people fake partying on a roof. And he was probably like, what is, like, I don't even know how we got it. I mean, it was a real big get. And then we also misread lyrics. I think where we're like, what does this mean? And then he laughed at us and it was like a completely different thing.
That was what the part that I was like, that'll be it. That'll be the sizzle. That'll be what sells it.
Yeah, we said, what's a bug or what? And it was Boogawoof.
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 That's the name of that. That's what that isolated pilot should be called, and we should release it.
Yeah, cute dog. Yeah, and then have we worked together again? We did more. How many? Whenever we work together, no one wants to watch it. It's pretty crazy.
Wait, what happened? What else happened?
Remember Jake, our friend, has all his music videos make millions of hits. And then we made a video and we could barely get 3,000. And then our web series, we could barely get a few hundred listeners or watchers.
Oh, you know what? People don't like quality things anymore.
We're just like so disrespected on the internet.
I think we can get it together for a viral moment. I feel like if you filmed, actually, you know that our favorite thing that we ever shot was the chase scene.
It is. And you know what my mom's favorite thing is? It's when Snapchat had filters and we were baby deer.
Yes.
And we just made videos my mom loves those deer videos and she watches them all the time.
I believe that there is a merger of the chase video and the deer filter that could get us.
It looks so fucking bright where you are.
It is really bright.
All right, girl, let's end. Say something great to the people.
You guys, these are tough times. Here at Sabrina Jalees Corp, we value you following us from show to show, Zoom to Zoom, or even email to email. August 2nd, Liza Treyger will be appearing on a program called Nanny Search 2020, along with Chelsea Peretti, Meg Stalter, Edie Patterson from Righteous Gemstones, and many, many more. August 2nd, how do you know? You follow me on Instagram, Sabrina Jalees. I'll post a poster. It's going to be fun, and all proceeds go to the Okra Project. May all of you love each other, live with each other, hold each other, and see each other. I'm Sabrina Jalees. Signing off, Liza Treyger News.
Wait, do you have a Kabbalah bracelet on right now?
Ricky Wolfie's bio daddy made me this.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Glimpse Adventures, great jewelry.
Glimpse Adventures at Glimpse Adventures, handmade in Mexico with a little bit of magic that makes you a baby.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sabrina. We'll
I love you. I
FaceTime
miss
soon.
you.
Miss you too. Love you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope this was good. I hope I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. Thank you so much. Bye.